So this girl does 10 push-ups every time she dies in Elden Ring. Guess who's gonna have guns by the end of this
Somebody about to be real
stream?
strong playing that shit.
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
Hello,
mhm.
hello, hello, and welcome to episode 188 of the Super Weapon Podcast, most overpowered podcast on the internet. It's your boy Darius Artist, and as always, got my co-host DC here with me today.
What up, though? We are back. We are back after a tad bit of a hiatus.
Yeah, nice
All
little,
up in your
week off,
radius,
man. We took some time off, man. Your birthday was last weekend, man. Happy belated once again for those who didn't know.
I shook a little bacon,
Our hostess with the mostest, man, DC's birthday, man. So we just decided to take last week off. I mean, honestly, man, we kind of talked about it a little bit, man. The last couple of weeks I've just been so tired and just like out of energy, between like work and everything else that's been going on. I feel like it was kind of needed, man, but it's good to be back, man. Happy to be here, man. How you doing, man? How was your birthday, man? I didn't really talk to you that much over last weekend. Did you do anything fun? Did you just kind of stay in the house and just, relax or?
I did absolutely nothing at all.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And to me, that's the biggest birthday present anyone can ever give themselves. Nothing. I didn't edit anything because we didn't record.
Yeah.
I didn't really play any games. I did not do nothing. My life is so boring and I love it.
Oh, so
I
you're,
love it. I
you're
think, no, did I go
Kendrick
out? I think I went to go get something to eat. That's it.
then. Oh man, nobody took you out for a good time, man. Nice little run.
Nobody loves me that much, unfortunately.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. You get older.
Somebody was
man.
supposed to give me a chimichanga. That's another story for another day.
Chimichanga.
Somebody at work let me down.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But she was like, "Oh, I'll bring it next week." I was like, "So you want me to move my birthday?"
Ooh, man, post birthday chimichanga
yeah, I
is
was
not
sassy.
the same.
I was sassy. I was extra sassy. I was like, "You don't promise me chimichangas and don't deliver, okay?"
Cause a chimmy,
Now, I'm
what's a
big
chimmy without the
foodie.
chunga, man?
What's a chunga without the chimmy? All right. Big foodie over here. You big foodie. You see this? All this buff exterior.
Oh my goodness! For our audio listeners, man, this guy has on probably the coolest sweater vest I've seen in quite a while. Whistle Pig whiskey. Yeah. That's pretty fire.
Pay me. We said your name. Pay me. This is not an ad.
No ads, no free skis, man. None.
But in all honesty, man, it felt good. Sometimes just to hit that restart button feels great.
Yeah,
I wasn't tripping at all. Like, because I always make all like these grand plans, and then I'm just like, you know what? My bed feels a lot better. So,
and there's nothing wrong with that. I was gonna say, man, there's absolutely nothing wrong with just, I think as we get older too, and this is something I'm kind of guilty of as well. People kind of look at aging as a bad thing or aging as
I embrace it.
you gotta just kind of embrace that part of your life, man. I know we have a lot of older listeners like around our age, 30 and up crew, shout out, but sometimes you gotta learn to accept what is, and excuse me, you just gotta really just embrace the good, man, because not a lot of us make it to see the ages that we are, man. We've had plenty of loss in both our lives, over the last couple of years. But I'm happy you had a nice, relaxing birthday, man, and you've been playing a lot of Genshin Impact too, which is just crazy to me.
Big Genshin.
What brought that on? That's what I really want to know. What made you want to play Genshin Impact? What was that like? That trigger for you? Did you see somebody stream it, or you just were curious about it?
He put me on the spot, guys. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. To be honest with you, man, I am very sporadic.
Yeah.
I have a problem. Like, I'm all over the place. My whole life has always been like this. Like, I'll be doing something, I could jump to something else, and it's probably not a good thing, though. Like, sometimes I need to buckle down and focus, because my interest can be, like, all over the place.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how I came across the game, to be honest. I know I tried playing it before, and like 2 seconds in, I was like, okay, this VTuber RPG is not really my vibe. Like, It's too bright. The characters are too jolly. I don't know if this
Too
is for
weeby
me.
for you, too anime for you, man.
Too anime plus tax, like with a little side of weeb, and it was just doing too much of the stuff that I really don't care for when I first played it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, nah, I don't know if I can get into this. And then I don't even know how I came back to this. Like, um, I recently started playing my PlayStation 5 a lot more than usual.
Oh,
And it
okay.
was on, I want to say it was on like my homepage, I want to say. And I was just like, I saw free. And I was just like, okay, let's try it again, right? I was like, let's try it again. And so I really dug deep into it this time.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I don't think I gave it a fair shake the first time. So let me play it again and let's give it a good day and see where we can take the culture, right? So I played it for a couple of hours, way more than what I did the first time. And then I think what kind of like drew me in is the team composition aspect and the detail. Like it's very light. It's one of those games that can be very just light and straightforward.
Yeah.
But then as you progress and you get to like certain levels, you really have to think about what you're doing. And what I mean by like team composition is when you're fighting certain enemies and there's certain types, you may want to bring a certain team to that fight because there's over like 60 characters you can get just fine throughout the game that'll join your party. Like it's
See, that's
ridiculous.
insane. And that's the thing I think confused me about it because I don't really know much about Genshin. I was kind of like you, like I never really watched it. I know there was some sort of like hard aspect to it, like pulling characters, and I think that's what kind of turned me off to it because I don't know if a lot of people remember like Fortnite was kind of like that with the Save the World mode where it had that card game element to it, and it just I think that's what kind of just like immediately turned my brain off to it. But it's interesting to see you playing it. I'm glad you're having fun with it, man, because it seems like it's a lot deeper just listening,
The
to what
team
you've been telling me and stuff.
composition
So
the team composition elements of it is dope because there's like I was looking at tier list
mhm.
of who's like the top tier players and who's good support players and basically so there's four elements that they break the characters down by. You have the typical is the fire, water,
Yeah.
wind, uh electricity, lightning, something like that. So when you build these teams up, like say if you have someone who has wind, like one dude that I have, he does like a tornado. And then you could pick the other person, the fire person, and you could shoot fire into the tornado, which makes this big fiery tornado
Oh, there's like
special thingy.
combination attacks. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
interesting.
And it takes a lot of health. Like once you learn, like that's what they say about compositions, because certain teams gel together real well.
Right.
And say with that fire tornado, if you're fighting a ice monster, obviously you know how that goes. Old
Right. Fire.
RPG
Fire
elements.
beats ice. Yeah.
But you want to
Yeah.
make sure that you're carrying like the right people when you go into these dungeons and situations like that because you may I found myself I was fighting a fire monster and I didn't really have a good set of people. Like I was fighting them and it took me way longer than what it would have took if I had the right team composition. So you have that, then your weapons, you have weapon enhancement, like weapon upgrades. You have two different ranks. It's a venture rank. A venture rank is what you do around the whole world as a whole. Then your character, each individual character has a leveling system to them, and you go from like level
Mm.
20, then you got to like use a thing to boost your level from 20 up to 40 to 60. Like it keeps going. It's a lot. It's a lot in the game that for a person who really just like want to get technical, like you could dive in there and just
Just gonna have fun with it. Yeah.
have fun with it. And then there's just an aspect to where you may be a casual where you just come in, you want to just fight some stuff. And my only down thing about the game is there is some of the quests are kind of like really, really just and all the
Little
talking, like
do they have like those classic like fetch quests and all that stuff? Like so some of that
yeah,
stuff
all
is like
that's in there, but it's some of them that's a little extra special than other ones. And what I mean by that is like, um, it kind of slows up the action, right?
I
Like
gotcha.
you can have these moments of where you're battling and I don't know. To me, it kind of kills the vibe because it'd be something weird like, oh, go get some carrots so we can make some stew, or like something just weird. And I'm like,
Yeah,
that
something.
kind of slows it down a little bit for me. Like that's like probably my only gripe. Like a lot of side missions, I mean, they reward you like because you get adventure points and stuff from it. But a lot of the missions, like because there's certain tiers of missions, and then you see ones to where you know you're gonna fight a boss or something. And I think those stand out more, but like some of them side quests, hey, go pick some flowers so we can make a wreath for the door. And I'm like, and then all this talking, it'd be so much dialogue with these weird side missions. And man, and their voices, like they got the weeby, high pitched. So I be pressing X through a lot of that. I'm not gonna lie. Like I be like,
You know,
whatever. I don't want to hear them
that's
talk.
kind of like that JRPG charm and format though.
The
Like
high we are
yeah,
it's like,
you
oh my
have like
god.
your character archetypes, and then you have because you know even going back and playing like some older games like you know like I'll play Final Fantasy X like HD every couple of months I'll pick it back up and just kind of you know play about an hour or so. And
Hmm.
you definitely have those moments where you're doing just like you said those really kind of offhand quests that really don't have anything to do with the story. That I kind of feel you on that. I didn't notice it when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I don't really necessarily enjoy those parts of RPGs or JRPGs, but it's cool to see like you know like you jumped into it because the game is still very popular. I just looked up some numbers on a
Oh, it's
random
getting
website.
updated all the time.
Yeah, there's apparently like in the last 30 days there's been 63 million like active players, which is just insane. And I didn't even realize Genshin Impact has been out since 2020. I didn't realize this game launched in COVID. Like that's even more insane to even think about that. Like this happened.
And it was
Like
a typical,
yeah, like
excuse me, it was a typical situation where it came out. It was kind of bare bone.
yeah,
And then I think that's one of the joys of getting into it late because it's so much to do.
yeah.
Like even if you try to like rush through it, and the map is freaking ridiculously huge.
And the
That
crazy
map
thing
is
is it's a mobile
huge.
game too, which is just insane to me. I didn't even think about that aspect. So
Yeah, you can
I'm
play
sure they're
co-op
pulling
as
in.
well.
Yeah, I'm sure they're pulling in. God knows how much money a month, like millions of dollars. You know, and there's been a couple of games that have tried to come
But
along
you
that
know what's
would
funny?
replicate Genshin Impact, but
You know what's crazy? I don't understand
like the
what do you call it?
monetization.
Microtransactions.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't get it. Like I don't know like if it's in-game currency. Like I looked at it
yeah,
and I was like, I don't know if these are like cosmetics that you're adding to your weapons and stuff, or is this a new weapon? Like,
interesting.
if I was to tell them anything, I would tell them to maybe kind of redo their storefront or whatever you want to call it to
Yeah,
make it a little more
or it could look that way
cohesive.
because it's a mobile game. Maybe like maybe they want it like that.
Mm.
Maybe ambiguous or
Because I
just
maybe I would buy something if I knew what the hell I was buying. Like I'm looking at the list and I'm like,
yeah.
okay, because I think majority of it is cosmetic. Like I don't think you could buy any weapons that's gonna
I got you.
really do anything. It looked like it's all cosmetic. You buy different skins like per usual for your character, but
Right.
I was just looking through it and I was just like, I really don't understand what I'm looking at. Maybe I'm just not the brightest bulb in the whatchamajig, but I would like you to like look at it and see because it's weird. Like it's really weird. I was like, y'all might want to work on this. You know, you might, make a little bit more money if this was more intuitive and people can just come in, get
Yeah.
what they want and leave. But
Because
yeah, man, it's been a ride.
it's a free to play game, isn't it? Or am I?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's even crazier. I'm gonna look it up on Steam. Genshin Impact. Let's see what the reviews are, because that's the most important thing, right? Oh, it's not even on. This isn't on Steam. Genshin.
No,
I
it's his
see.
own site. Like you have to go
Oh, so it
to
says on
because I got
launcher
it
and
on
stuff. Okay.
computer as well. Yeah, it's on its own like website. Like you go to Genshin and download the little
Oh, okay.
driver, and then yeah,
Yeah, I'm not gonna do all that. So that's cool.
it's on that and PlayStation. It's on PC, PlayStation.
Cool. Yeah, man. That's so. Yeah, this. If you guys are interested in Genshin Impact, man, definitely check it out. Like DC says, free to play if you're into JRPGs that have a certain charm to them, like Weenie said in chat. It's a game you'll probably lose your life to if you start playing it, because I know some people who do play it like almost stream it exclusively. So that's cool,
Yeah,
man.
it's a lot. It's a lot, but yeah, it's definitely like I have these moments. Like you never
Yeah.
know. 2 weeks from now, I'll probably be playing because like right now, this game caught my eye. I am a 2D scrolling fanatic, and have a nice death is calling me, so I might be playing that
I think I've heard
later.
of
Or
that. Have a nice death. Let me as I
have a nice
Google.
death is it's like it's a weird story about death being lazy, basically.
Oh, yeah. This reminds me. There was one game I played last year that was like this, where you played as like a raven in like limbo. I can't remember. This one looks really good.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be testing it because it's on Game Pass. And
Yeah, yeah,
speaking of
yeah.
Game Pass, hey man, let me tell y'all, I am not a Microsoft paid advertisement, but let me tell you.
Chill. I'm just
But
kidding.
let me tell y'all, hey, last about 6, 7 months,
Yeah,
Game Pass been on fire.
it has. I agree.
And
Big agree.
Harold is out. I don't want to play that until I hook up my capture card because I want to make that a series.
Harold
I've
Halibut.
been,
That game got
it's
really good
out.
reviews too.
Yes, it's so good. It's so good, but I don't want to start playing it until I hook up my capture card because I want to
I
make
think
videos
I
for
think
it.
Game
But
Pass, man, like
they are,
even outside of like the big titles, right? Because the last few that I've seen that have really hit it off with people. Two in particular is Manor Lords, and then Another Crab's Treasure. If you guys haven't seen Another Crab's Treasure, it's basically Dark Souls and you're a crab underwater. And
in a cheeky cartoon
yeah,
looking
that
kind of
game,
way.
and it's actually really cool. Like I did, like when actually watched somebody play it. I think it's like the fact that you can like put on different shells and either like use them for defense or offense. Like I saw one TikTok of a guy who had a gun, a gigantic gun for a shell, and he
Hmm.
found a boss and he literally just spun the block on the boss and killed him because he kept dying to it.
Bruh. And like he's running around with like this gun. Like
Yeah,
it's
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 insane.
funny, but I like the spin. See, this is the type
Yeah.
of stuff. And I found a couple of indie pages.
hmm
So I'll be probably talking about more indie games as well.
I think we should. That'd be awesome, man.
I fell into a couple of indie holes, for a lack of better terms. Like I've been finding out like about a lot of just very interesting indie games, man.
Yeah.
Like it's so the scene is growing so fast.
I
And it's
think
a
they're
lot
doing
of
a
good
good
stuff
job.
out there.
Yeah, man. Like honestly, man, and it could be a unfortunate, well, let me not say an unfortunate, but a positive spin on all the studio closures and stuff that have been happening, because a lot of these games are like built by super small teams. I know Manor Lords in particular was made by one guy, and that game had like
Hmm.
150,000 people playing it the day it released, which is crazy. Like, if you guys like top down, kind of like Civilization, or I don't want to necessarily say Sims, but the kind of game where you're like building societies essentially, and controlling the fate of life of people. Like Mandalorian is actually I've watched a bunch of hours of people play this. That game's actually I think it has a bright future ahead of it, as well as Crab's Treasure. But yeah, I mean, I think Xbox is just doing all the right things right now, man, with Game Pass. They're filling out their library outside of those big titles. I mean, we're getting Hellblade 2 here in a couple of weeks. But I think, just like you said, there's just so many hidden gems that I don't know if Xbox does, like, I don't know what more they could do, because they just had that Idea Xbox showcase last week.
Hmm.
I didn't even watch that. I totally spaced on that, but they try their best to highlight a lot of these games, man. And I think it's definitely worth the money now. Like, the price went up like $1 or whatever for all the tiers, but I mean, you really do get your money's worth, in my opinion. Like, there's something for everybody on Game Pass, man. Shout out to them, 100%.
I just think I've had mine so long. I'm not trying to sound like a rich elitist, but I don't even be paying attention. Like, I don't. When people be
Yeah.
telling me like, "Oh, the Game Pass went up," I'm like, "Oh, for real?" Like, I've had it so long. It's a
Yeah.
part of my life. I don't think it's going anywhere.
Oh, definitely not.
Especially, like I said, the past 6-7 weeks, it's been totally worth it. Like, dude, I mean, you got what, Fallout 76, you got Hellblade. It's just so much on there. They got the new Ark on there.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Herald game is on there. It's like,
Yeah, and I think Jedi
that's just
Survivor just
scraping.
hit like last week or the week before. So
Yeah, that's just scraping the surface, because I believe they just put a whole bunch for the May the 4th be with you.
yeah,
They just put a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff on there. So
yeah.
Game Pass, man, like I said, this is not an ad, but I'm just saying.
And I mean, honestly, and what a lot of people don't know too is like they partner with other streaming services. Like, a lot of people kind of shit on EA, but EA Play is actually a really good complement to Game Pass. If you guys are into sports games, you got Madden, EA, not FIFA anymore, EA FC. And just like DC said, yeah, they just added like Star Wars Jedi Survivor that came out last year. It's on Game
You
Pass
got
now,
like
so.
a good healthy hand of Assassin's Creed games,
That too.
if that's
Yeah.
your bag.
Ubisoft is definitely partnering with them smart
A t-
because they're fucking trash. Um,
And then I mean, you got, man, it's so much, because you got the Persona games on there for a
yes.
good RPG time. You got
They
the
dipping into
Persona
that
games.
JRPG bag. I love Microsoft for doing that, man. I'm so happy they're starting to do that.
Dude,
Like
I'm
get into
telling
the
you.
more Eastern like Japanese style games and stuff. 'Cause I think that's the biggest thing that's been missing from Game Pass.
Right.
And Phil has definitely been making a point to emphasize trying to get those games on there. And I hope we see whatever the next Persona is, because that's gonna be a big hit as well. There's been like rumors of people talking about it, coming out possibly next year. I think. Maybe we'll see that launch day one on PlayStation and Xbox as well, which would be cool. So, and then we got the showcase, the big showcase they announced for June 9th. So I'm sure we'll get a lot of Game Pass news there, and maybe we'll see the rumored Xbox handheld. Hey, you buy
Ooh.
the Xbox handheld, you get a 3 months of Game Pass or something. You know what I mean? Like a
Oh,
Game
you
Pass
already
bundle.
know. You already know they're gonna do that.
Yeah,
But
they kind of have to, right? So
I think with this showcase, they are gonna have to drop a bomb, because I'm not really. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm not really jazzed about this. I'm not really hyped. But they could change my mind if they have to drop a bomb. It has to be something big in there.
I think we're
I
gonna
think
get some big.
I think we're gonna get like a Gears of War.
We're getting Gears news. It's already been confirmed. I'm calling it now. We're getting Gear 6, and we're gonna get something else Gears related. Like I imagine it's gonna be. I still want that Gears remastered trilogy. I know some people might not. I think we're as an industry as a whole. People are kind of just tired of the remasters. I'm not. I'm gonna just go ahead and tell y'all straight up. Give me more of that. Gears is something I haven't played in quite a while.
Well,
I'm a
you want
he.
that? I want a Bayonetta remake. So
Imagine who owns the right. Is that Capcom that own the rights to Bayonetta? Who's the? Hold on, let's look that up
mm,
real quick, because
we need one bad.
I know Stellar
At least one
Blade.
and
Stellar
two.
Blade did really well, right? Let's see, Bayo. I think Nintendo actually owns it. Maybe I don't know, because Bayonetta 3 only released on the Switch, right? Which was a huge fucking mistake in my opinion. But it's Platinum Games. Okay, are they independent? They made Nier, Automata, Bayonetta, Astral Chain.
Of course they made it. Of course they made Near Automata. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, Platinum Games. They make a lot of good games, man. I don't know. I don't know if they're independent or not. I think so. I can't find
Yeah,
any info.
Bayonetta 1 and 2 needs a remastered. I would be there immediately. First day out. I'm talking
Yeah.
about hot seat, all right?
What's going on, BZ? Hey, we're
Part 3,
definitely,
you can keep that.
we
You can
can
keep
talk
part 3.
about it. Fine. Since BZ brought it up in chat, we can go out of order here a little bit. Let's talk about Helldivers 2. Let's talk about it.
Oh man, oh bro.
So,
I
so
got beef with something, but I'm gonna let you kick it off. I got beef with something
yeah,
when
we're
we
gonna
get
talk
done.
about this, man. So, Helldivers, Arrowhead Studios, the studio that develops the game, dropped a announcement that after I believe May the 6th for new players, and then May the 30th for current players, that you will have to have a PSN account and link it to basically like your Steam account if you're playing on PC to play the game. This obviously did not go over well with majority of the industry. I'm gonna say this, right? I'm gonna say this. I think people are blowing this out of proportion.
Because it's
But
been done with so many other games.
right,
Like,
but I think the problem is once again, and it's something that you even highlight a lot, is messaging is everything when it comes to things like this, right? Like you need to have better communication when it comes to what your expectations for your player base are. And I think that the way that they've kind of handled this, especially their community manager, where he was just like, "Well, it's not us, it's PlayStation. Go talk to them." Like you just kind of, throwing the ball back over to Sony, and Sony really hasn't been saying much about it. I think it's just a big cluster F at this point. But like you said, right? Like nobody really throws fits at Xbox for you have to connect your Xbox account. So something like Sea of Thieves, if you want to play on PC, you have to have an Xbox account to play it. Like nobody throws a fit at things like that. But like I said, I just think the way that they could have handled it could have been better. Like maybe
I think because Sea of Thieves started off like that too.
Yeah, it started off
so
on
that
PC.
kind of softened the blow. Well, I mean, the fact that you had to do all that stuff to play it, I think it was already kind of.
That's a fair point. And I think the problem is,
if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like started from the beginning. So with this, you've been playing the game all this time, and it's like now I gotta like set this up, and this is my problem with that. And this is not at Arrowhead. This is just the whole thing in general, right? I hate it. I hate that you have to link up all your stuff. I understand why they do it because for security reasons, hackers are getting crazier.
It has nothing to do with security. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'll go ahead and tell you that. It has nothing to do with making your account more secure, because there are people that cheat on consoles. Like it has nothing to do with that. 100%.
Wow, that's crazy. Because when I was reading on it, they were saying, "Oh, well, they wanted it on PlayStation Network because it's more secure."
That's people's speculation, man. And I think once again, like I think the problem is that people just didn't want to. I think this is a PC player thing, right? Like PC players don't already want to go outside of Steam to play their games, which is why they throw fits. Just like shout out to Darkstar in chat, he talks about Blizzard. Like, you have to use Blizzard launcher for a lot of their games. You have to use, or when Epic was trying to get people to come over to the Epic Game Store, people just don't want to have an extra account to keep up with. I understand that.
And that's me. That's my problem.
Yeah.
That's me.
But I think where I draw an issue with is people going to review bomb the game, where people are, oh well, I want to get a refund after playing the game for over 100 hours. Like like that doesn't change the goddamn game. Okay, let's just, you know what I mean?
You're just being a bratty bitch.
You're being kind of petty at that point. You've gotten your money's worth.
Sign up.
Like this is the world we live in. I know it sucks, and for people being upset about it, like a PSN account is 100% free. You don't need to add any account information. You can make a fake account name. You can say your house from House MD and just make a fake email and just connect the account. Like they're not, your information already is not secure. Trust me, if somebody works in IT, and I've seen shit at my job personally that's happened, security breaches, like your stuff isn't secure, man. Like it's, at the end of the day, I think the messaging could have been handled better. And for the people who aren't in, I know that, there are some issues. Like the one thing that does kind of suck, people were talking about certain regions across the world that don't have the ability to make PSN accounts. That does suck. I think there needs to be some sort of, PlayStation needs to do something there, right? They need to make some sort of concession. But I feel like as Sony starts to move more towards releasing stuff on PC, this will become less of an issue for people. But I think just because right now Sony's new to the whole PC space, that people are like, I don't want to do it, because. And if we being honest, I think Steam is going to end up refunding people because that's just what they do. You know what I mean? Like they'll just kind of take the hit on that, you know, just to keep people quiet. But I don't agree with the review bombing and stuff, man. Like, you know, and just like BZ said, sure, I get it, right? You know, you have to make an account for everything, but it's the same thing with like streaming apps, like to watch shows. You know, you gotta have. You know, I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
It gets annoying, man.
It
like,
is. It does.
At both of my jobs, it's all like, oh, when they come, oh, you gotta change your password. I'm like, oh my fucking god, again. It's annoying, man. It's so annoying.
I get it, man, but like I understand it to a point where, like I said, I'm gonna tell y'all, somebody ever gets their hands on the login information for like 4 of the websites I use, they're gonna have it for everything. I use like the same 3 or 4 passwords. I'm never gonna tell y'all what they are. You'll never guess, but.
And they say you're not supposed to do that, but I'm like, how the fuck do y'all expect us to remember all this stuff?
You're honestly
if I had a different password for every, look, I'll pull it up on my phone right now. Dude, I literally have over 100 accounts I have passwords for.
Yeah.
These are legit accounts. Like everything I pay a bill on is a freaking password.
Is it password 123? Absolutely fucking not. Like, I work in IT,
no.
I'm not that
I'll
stupid
tell
with
you.
but,
let me tell you something.
You know, I'm not that.
My password, I'll tell you this. Literally, one of my passwords is damn near a paragraph. Because people be laughing when I'm typing it in the computer. They be like, what the hell is that?
And there's nothing wrong with that.
You'll never guess it.
One thing I actually did learn is how to make they call them like password phrases, where you do like certain patterns on the keyboard. That I do, and then.
But if
like
you can
learn
patterns, they can too.
Yeah, they can. And honestly, there is no.
There is no safe way.
There's no safe way. I'm pretty sure all of our listeners and people in chat have gotten an email within the last 6 months about your data being hacked or breached from any company you could think of that you're probably a part of. They're like, hey man.
Oh, if you got AT&T,
your shit's on the dark web. I'm sorry.
Sorry, we sold it. I mean, we lost it.
Yeah, sorry. Somebody opened the back door to this computer server and they got all your information. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, man, like I think it's more so with Sony just trying to, like I said, breach that PC crowd, and it's gonna be a fight, and people are gonna be mad about it. But I don't agree with the review bombing, man. That's just petty. Like up until a couple of days ago, like everybody was loving Helldivers. You know, the game hasn't changed. The way they want you to access it has, and that sucks.
And there's just sign up.
Like at the end of the day, it takes 5 minutes. Make a fake account. I can promise you, so even to my listeners who are outside of the countries that don't have access to PSN, make a fake account. They're not auditing PlayStation accounts to find out who. Oh man, this guy's name is Kendrick Lamar at gmail.com. Like this guy has to be fake. They don't fucking care. I can promise you they don't. Just make a fake account and just sign up for it. You'll never use the PSN. I understand. And just
people gonna play
with your friends.
Oh, cut it out. I'm so sick of people.
Yeah, just play the.
People just look for reasons to be mad. Shut up. You're gonna log in. You're like, oh man, I miss playing Helldivers. Guess I gotta log in. Log your stupid ass.
I'm not gonna stand for this tyranny, this injustice. Like the shit I see people posture so bad about stuff. It's like you guys are choosing the wrong stuff to take a stand on.
God, like, they die on some of the dumbest hills, boy.
You know, let's take a stand on the stuff that's actually going on in the world. You know, not I'm not gonna get political in there, but just come on, guys, pick and choose your battles, man. Like, life's too short for that.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I agree, man. I think if they would have gave like a free skin or something, incentivize people for making a account or linking your account, would have kind of gone over a little bit more. Like, do I think this is going to hurt the game long term? No. I honestly don't.
Not at all.
I think in about 3 or 4 days, people are going to stop talking about it and they're going to go back to playing the game. I'm surprised, honestly, Steam hasn't shut down like the review bombing yet, because that, you know, they usually do that too for certain titles. Like if they see people are just kind of shitting on, let's go to hell. I'm gonna go to Helldivers 2 live.
Let's
right
read
now.
some quotes. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, this will be fun actually.
Yeah, let's read some quotes. Let's read some hot quotes.
I'm gonna pull this up on Steam if it'll actually open the game, please. There we go.
Well, let's
so
read some
it's gone from mostly positive to mostly negative in the process of 24 hours. So the first one I see here is a list of countries that you can't make. This is actually a pretty long list. Holy shit! All right, that's crazy. List of countries you can't make a PSN account in. All right. This one guy says, "Yeah, I'm not linking my PSN account." I'm gonna read that again. I'm not linking my PSN account. So this guy already has one. All right. So that's just insane. Then he goes on to list hacker events that have happened with Sony. I mean, I'm sure other companies, like I said, have stolen your data. This other guy, this one's pretty funny. The automatons have taken over Sony headquarters. Attention to all Helldivers. That's actually great.
Yeah, at least make it funny.
This guy was pretty funny, right? Okay, so let's see. Hold on, let me filter this to mostly review type negative.
Please revert PSN changes for PC players, or I will be asking for a refund.
Yeah,
ooh,
it's like, come
Devin JG. I fear for my life. Somebody better. I reckon he's demanding a refund.
Like these guys, like, you know, like I said, man, requesting a refund for a game you spent 50 plus hours in, like that's just you. That's like buying something and taking it back to a retail store years later. DC will get that joke.
Hey, wait, hold on, guys, hold on. There's a guy here. He says for each like he gets, he'll eat a jar of pickles. I'm gonna need y'all to go like that.
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna go like that immediately.
I'm liking it right now. I'm liking the shit out of it.
Explode.
I want him to, and he got to sip on the pickle juice.
Yuck. Okay.
You never drunk pickle juice?
I have, yeah. That's just I can't drink a lot of it, man. It's too much of it. Man.
No, it's when you grow up, your taste buds change.
Yeah.
Because good God, if I was to drink pickle juice now,
you know.
Oh my God, but no, it's the difference between pickles and just sipping on pickle juice.
Yeah, that's right? You know, let us know down in the comments on YouTube if you guys like to drink pickle juice. We would love to know.
Oh man, pickle juice. I know Weenie's a pickle juice kind of guy. Huh?
Come on. So yeah, man. I mean, like I said, man, I don't really feel one way or the other about it. I feel like there's bigger issues at hand in life, and if this is all you have to be mad about in your life, I envy you. I will say that. If this is the most distressing thing that is causing you problems in your life, man, like I wish we could trade places, because you know that would be great. So yeah, I think
just look for reasons to be upset. That's insane.
Yeah,
like I know it's annoying. Trust me, I'm one of the people who can't stand having to sign up to extra shit. I get it, but to be annoyed to the point where you taking time out of your day to go review bomb something, grow the hell up. Grow up. Grow up, and y'all enjoyed the game. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, literally nothing about the game.
If it was a shitty game,
yeah.
Oh God, whatever.
They're not changing anything about the game, but making you link the account. So, yeah, man, that's Helldivers 2, man. We'll definitely keep an eye on that. I'm sure there's gonna be some more conversations, and people are gonna be more mad and all that good stuff. So. Let's talk about some esports, man. I don't feel like we talk enough about esports. As somebody who is deeply entrenched in the community and just my love for competitive gaming, I'm very excited to see the Esports World Cup, which is happening from July 3rd to August 25th.
Mark your calendars.
And hold on, I looked up the name of. Hold on, oh my gosh, I looked up how to pronounce this. This isn't Saudi Arabia. It's Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I'm not sure if that's like the capital of Saudi Arabia or not, or one of the major.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah, it's the country's capital. Nice okay, place. I just actually so it is the country's capital. So, we kind of touched on the Esports World Cup like months and months and months ago. We kind of get some more information here,
but
today.
It's here now.
Yeah, so
it's closer.
This is actually pretty cool, man. So it's a total prize pool of $60 million, 19 prominent esports titles over 4 different divisions. So there is a club championship, the game championships, qualifiers, and the MVP awards, and all that money totals up for $60 million, which is just an insane amount of money to win playing video games. Some of the titles include Apex Legends, Counter-Strike 2, Dota, EAFC 2024, Fortnite, League of Legends, Overwatch 2, PUBG Mobile as well, Rainbow Six Siege, Rocket League, Street Fighter 6,
Siege,
Tekken 8, and there's like other games that I've never heard of. Like there's one that's I've never heard of, this Free Fire.
Hey, whoa, hold on. You can't say Tekken 8 without saying the big Street Fighter 6. Come on now.
Yeah, no, I did. I said Street Fighter 6 and
Oh,
Tekken.
you did?
Yeah, they're both
My
gonna be. Yes,
apologies.
sir. Which is pretty
Because
cool to
I'm
see.
really looking forward. I'm looking forward to Street Fighter 6. I'm
Hmm.
looking forward to
And
see
this
who's
is
going to be
separate.
representing what country and all that good stuff.
Yeah, because this is actually separate from the Pro Tour. But one thing I thought was pretty cool, because Evo Japan happened last weekend. The top 6 players from Evo Japan are qualified for this event, which is actually pretty fire. So you already got like a good amount of titles and people, and I think there's quite a few gaming organizations, gaming esports orgs that are participating in this as well. But this is just great to see, man. Like we always talk about esports and how we wish they would kind of, or at least I feel like I wish they would kind of not necessarily mirror like traditional sports, but have the exposure for more than just their core audience. And I hopefully this will be the start of that. I'm not sure what kind of coverage we're going to see, and they haven't really announced like coverage details where you can watch it, like formats or anything like that. But I'm happy to see that we're
There's going to
getting.
be some kind of source on the internet, I
Yeah,
believe.
I'm sure it'll
It's
be
going to be internet
streamable
based.
somewhere. Yeah, like you can watch it on
Yeah.
Twitch or YouTube or something.
Yeah,
Um,
because I'm really looking forward to. I want to see who's going to really like represent their country,
yeah,
especially if you follow like Street Fighter and stuff like that.
yeah,
Because
absolutely.
you have a lot of big names in the Street Fighter community that's doing some really amazing things right now.
Agreed,
So
agreed.
it's gonna be. I've been watching it from afar, and I'm like, I got my favorites. Menard with his Blanca is like insane.
He'll be
So
there.
I wonder,
He'll be
I
there.
wonder, is he gonna represent his country? Because don't he stay in America?
He stays here,
Will they
but
do
I'm
it like sports?
I'm sure he's gonna.
I mean, would they do it like basketball? Because like basketball, they can go play for
Oh,
their
for
country.
like the Olympics. I
Yeah,
would
yeah, yeah.
imagine Menard. He's very pro international player. When I say that, I mean like he definitely talks a lot about wanting more international players to get more recognition. So I would imagine he's going
Hmm.
to represent South America in some capacity. Um,
Yeah.
that's one thing I will say about like fighting games over some of these other titles is you're starting. It's funny you mentioned the NBA, right? I really do feel like we're at this point where other regions are starting to catch up to North America when it comes to certain titles. Like for instance, for people who don't follow Apex, they have a competitive Apex like pro league called ALGS, which is going on this
Which is going
weekend.
on right now.
Yeah, the first major. Uh, I think in the last couple of years, it's been hosted here. I think it's in LA this weekend. It's going on right now, and a lot of international teams are playing very very well. Like I've watched quite a bit of it. Like when I'm at work and stuff, I'll try to catch certain matches. But a lot of international teams are doing a lot better than some of the North American favorites right now, which is cool to see.
Hmm.
Because it makes it more interesting, at least in my opinion. And, Counter Strike has always had that.
I feel like it's growing. Like when
Yeah.
you see that, when other countries start to come in and do their thing, it feel like that they putting in the time and effort. So that basically showing that it's growing
Hmm.
in other parts of the world. And I think like games like Apex and stuff, you'll see that. But I also wonder about the games on the other side of the tier list that may not be as well. I think all these games made it to the Olympics because they have such a
International. Yeah, that's a
worldly,
good
yeah,
point.
I was gonna say like such a worldly following. I think that's why they were picked. So
I mean,
I don't
hell,
know. It's
even
gonna
even
be this is
Siege.
their first time doing this, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
something.
this
This is the first time something like this has been done where there is this many titles from like this many like different genres. I think
mhm.
I think you could probably say the closest thing would probably be Evo. Where Evo has multiple fighting
Yeah,
games, but it's all
yeah.
just within the same fighting genre. But you like I said, you got everything from shooters to. I mean, hell, they got team fight tactics, which is just insane to me. Like I didn't know that was competitive. Like shout out to the team fight tactics community, the competitive side of that. I had no idea.
You'll be man, boy. I'll tell you, the stuff that I find competitive is crazy.
Yeah,
Like I'd be like, oh, I didn't know like people were playing this on a competitive level. But I also want to dig a little deeper into that and see like what's the road to the Olympics. I would love to see like a documentary or something
Yeah,
for
we
that?
actually haven't gotten any information. I've been trying to see if there's been any updates about the Esports Olympics, which is something I think is something completely different from this.
Hmm.
Since I think last year when we first covered it, I haven't heard anything recently. But I would love, yeah, that would be cool if they had some sort of like, just like you said, maybe like tournament series or find a way
Yeah,
to
just
maybe
to
get other
show.
countries involved. Be like, hey, you guys can host two of these major events here with certain
Hmm.
titles. And I think the logistics of that will probably be a little bit more difficult outside of Saudi Arabia. Because I believe the royal family is probably heavily involved in these events. I wouldn't be surprised if they are. I'm more curious because one thing people were talking about too is just kind of how you've been over to the Middle East. You spent time over there in the military. How they treat women and the LGBT community over there. Like that they view that stuff very differently than we do. So I'm
Hmm.
curious how they're going to try to navigate that, especially with games like Apex Legends
Integrate.
that has a very heavy, LGBTQ focus, especially with some of the in-game characters in the game as well. So,
Hmm.
I'm very, very curious how that can I
That's a good question.
that's something that a lot of
I
people have
never
been
thought
talking
about
about
that.
this. Yeah, I mean, even with gosh, what was it? The World Cup? Was that the World Cup they were talking about that? Like you cuz I remember like I think at like certain like sporting events in certain parts of the Middle East, you can't even drink beer, which is crazy
Yeah.
because a lot of these, especially like football, as they say, that's one of the big things a lot of the fans like to do, especially from Europe. They like to drink pretty heavy at these events. So, and I remember, you telling me certain stories like you don't want to get in trouble in the Middle East, like you do not want to
No,
get
you
caught.
don't. You do not. Floyd is stuck over there. Floyd Mayweather is stuck over there right now
Oh, I didn't
because
know
he
that.
did. Oh yeah,
Wow.
because of some stuff he got into. Yep. Trust me when I tell you. Don't let the Instagram stuff fool you. People be over there taking pictures, having a blast. But one thing you got to understand is when you in these other countries, learn the lay of the law and respect the law because you don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, man, and hopefully that's something that, like I said, we kind of get some answers on. I hope that it's not a situation where they try to suppress or discriminate against certain groups of people or certain walks of life, to so they can come to play in these events, because I would hate for certain people not to be able to make it, especially if they're
I
skilled
think
enough to be there. So
Yeah, and then I mean, some of these games like a Apex, hey, they might, they might just pull their stuff, like if they feel like it's disrespectful or, you know what I'm saying?
I hope
Because
not. I mean, because they've already come out and said that they're not restricting anything when it comes to this event. They're not telling people that you can't play certain characters. They're not,
oh
they're
no, I don't mean
yeah,
like that. I'm just saying like if they're playing in a certain country and the country's acting crazy, I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if Apex be like, you know what?
Yeah, if like EA's be
Well,
like, nah, we're
yeah,
good. Yeah,
yeah. That's what I meant. Like, just because Apex is definitely, if you know anything about the characters' history, like a lot of the characters represent a different aspect of life.
yeah, yeah.
You have gay characters, bisexual,
Trans, yeah, yeah.
trans characters,
Heavy,
So,
heavy on the LGBTQ, man. Like
mm,
that's a big part of Apex Legends' identity, and I know, hell, even in the U.S., people still get scrutinized for their beliefs on stuff like that. So I'm hoping this is a good event, man. Like, this is, like I said, the first of its kind, and it's going to be going over, like I said, from July to August, to end of August. So I'm definitely going to be tuning into this, and I hope it is a good event. So maybe we can start to see more of these types of things happen around the world. And gaming continues to kind of because esports has been on some shaky legs the last couple of years. Just like much like a lot of the gaming industry. There's definitely been a lot of scaling back when it comes to investment when it comes to esports. So hopefully this will kind of reignite some of those conversations, man. That'd be cool. And
so how do we? That brings me to a question. Not to cut you off,
no, no,
but
yeah, for sure.
do you like? What do you feel like we can do to kind of course correct some of this as far as you know because everything has kind of like slowed down with the esports and everything,
Hmm.
and I feel like maybe some of this can be course corrected to bring eyes back to these sports because it's very entertaining when you're in the know, right? Like
Yeah.
me, you, a BZ, a Dark Star, somebody like people who play the game.
Right.
How would you go about, let's just say, how would you go about drawing people into watching these events who may not necessarily, know anything about Apex or play it?
That's a good question. So I think over the last couple of years, what where the esports industry has gone wrong is trying to model themselves after traditional sports where you have franchised leagues or franchise teams that I think that is the wrong direction. And I used to be a believer in it, right? And I think there's a path for that, but I think that you have to kind of open it up to you open up the competition to the entire player base. One of the big things that's been kind of going on that we actually didn't get to talk about, speaking of esports, is the CDL, or the Call of Duty League. So they were, up until 2 weeks ago, a franchise league. There's only 12 teams, 4 players per team. And you guys know how popular Call of Duty is. And before the CDL, it was more akin to Halo, where you could just essentially show up with 3 of your best friends and play against the best players in the world. But you can't really do that anymore with Call of Duty. And Activision came out and announced that they're essentially doing away with that. But they're keeping like the franchise teams, but they're allowing more players to play, which I think is the right direction to go in. Because in my opinion, the most exciting thing about competitive sports, whether that's esports or traditional sports, is the storylines between the people who are playing the sports themselves. Like, that's the thing that's more exciting to me. I think it would be cool to see a team who doesn't have the funding of an Optic or a FaZe, show up and make it all the way to the finals, or put one of these popular teams on their ass, or eliminate them. I think that kind of stuff is a little. I think that's a little bit more appealing, and maybe figure out a way to have more online events, because it's not always convenient for people to get to certain cities to play in these major
Right.
tournaments. Because then that would incentivize people to compete online, and then maybe offer them like, hey, we'll pay your plane ticket, or we'll
Get the
some way to,
hotel and
yeah,
plane fees,
some
everything
way,
paid for. We need you to just come out here and play.
yeah. And I mean, like, I don't really feel like, and I don't like that some of the companies who are developing these games are a little bit, I think they're a little bit too hands off when it comes to the esports side of their games. Call of Duty, I think they're trying to course correct and figure it out. I mean, I like a lot of what Counter-Strike does. I know some people feel like there's too many Counter-Strike events sometimes, which is fair, because every time I turn around, it looks like there is a Counter-Strike tournament somewhere. But I just feel like, you really
I
have
like
to.
the underground, like, because Counter-Strike has that underground. It just seemed like LAN party. We in the basement or somebody house. Let's bring all your computers. I want that vibe back.
I
I want those
I
days
think there's
back,
a certain
man.
charm to it, but at the same time, I think there's a place for like larger events as well. I mean, you look at what Valorant does,
Oh
like at
yeah,
their
of course,
major
of
events.
course.
You look at what the ALGS is doing this weekend. I think a lot of that stuff is really cool. I would love to go watch some of these events in person. I just think there has to be a better way on proving the value of these game franchises to the average person. I always talk about watchability. Like, that's a huge thing. Like, being able to have somebody who may not play a particular game or title, and have them understand what they're looking at so they can start to be interested in it, is huge as well. I think that's
Also, I was gonna say
uh,
also, you need that overbearing personality. I hate to say it.
you
You
need a
gotta have that
heel.
one person. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Like
need
wrestling.
you need that one person who's gonna push it over the top.
Yeah.
That everyone, yeah, the heel. That's the perfect word for it.
Yeah.
You need that one person who everybody gonna
You need
love
a
or
bad
hate.
guy. Or
Yeah.
a dynasty type team that just kind of wins everything. And I mean, I
And
think
somebody
that,
gotta knock them off the podium.
yeah, like I said, man, storylines are huge, and I think that I don't think there's enough teams or enough games or esports that take advantage of that. For Apex,
Mm.
it's TSM. For it changes every year with fighting games, which is cool. Every couple years it changes. Counter Strike is usually like FaZe or G2 or some of those top teams. It kind of rotates, but I don't think there's enough investment on that side, on the player side. And at the same time, I think players need to invest in themselves as well. I don't feel like, I don't understand if I was a popular esports player, if I was really good, I would be streaming. I would be making YouTube videos. I would be promoting the sport that I play. Don't just leave it, like I said, you can't just leave it all up to the developers, because they're making the game, so their hands are, the developer and publisher, their hands are pretty full on that end. Like, I think it just has to be a give and take from that point of view, because otherwise, people still have that stigma of gaming. Like, oh, you're just a kid playing games in your mom's basement, or you're a kid, you're not making any money doing this, which is just so untrue.
Yeah, because I definitely want to see them take it like to the next level. I feel like in a couple of years, like we'll start to see like it's just the whole since 2020, a lot of stuff has just been kind of messed up, and I think in this space, particularly, that we're just trying to get our footing back. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to, even with like all the layoffs and stuff like that. It's just basically like everybody's kind of doing a reset right now, and it's kind of hard for everyone. But like even before all this happened, it was trending upward. Like you saw tournaments and stuff becoming very popular.
You had a rise in like online tournaments because it was a necessity. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so now I just feel like, it's just a restart. And one more question.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the new Legend Alter?
In Apex, I don't know yet. I don't know. I think, just if you're asking me like off the top of my head, she looks like Wraith 2.0 to me, which I don't know if
that's what everybody's saying.
I don't know if it's good or bad for the game yet. I don't know yet.
And it's just weird to me because it's like, y'all, this is like the third time y'all done nerfed the character just to create another similar character, which I think is weird.
I've seen some of the reported like leaks for like updates. I think Wraith is gonna get better with the changes they're making to characters who phase, like with the ability, like when you're phased, like if you use her ability or you're teleporting, other characters who aren't phasing are highlighted, so you can see people a little bit more, like that. Your vision's kind of a little bit clearer on that. I don't know. It's always hard to tell with Legends, right? Like I'm careful to say I think a particular Legend's going to be broken or overpowered, but I think the way that Apex is moving is, they're promoting a more aggressive gameplay style for a lot of people. I mean, especially with the changes to rank.
It's like the NBA with the 3-pointers. They want more.
Essentially, I think they're
exciting b-ball.
Yeah, I just think it's always like ebbs and flows to Apex. Like, we'll get Legends who are a lot more geared more towards, defensive strategies versus somebody like this who can bypass a lot of like walls, and that's gonna make for some interesting
wall
gameplay.
Banging is always one of those tough ones to deal with, especially when it comes like balance and stuff like that. And that's my thing too with Apex. It's like the more Legends you get, I mean, we've seen this with Siege. You're gonna have a lot that don't get any PT.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have your meta Legends like that everyone's gonna pick. And it's gonna be interesting to see what the future holds for Apex, like within the next 2 years.
Yeah.
I say like the next 2 years, things are going to be, because like the more, I was telling people, the more characters that you put in the game, the more they're going to have to mess around with balancing and trying to, mess with the pick rates. You're just going to have some people getting left out.
I will say this. I like that they go back and they rework characters. I do like that they do that.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's an amazing thing.
Because they are, allegedly supposed to be working on Gibraltar, like a rework on him, and I think Lifeline next, which I think is cool to kind of bring them a little bit more in line with the way the game is played now. You know what I mean? And I will tell you this: I think depending on what you can do with Alter, she's gonna make it very hard for teams to hold positions. Because imagine you're in a power position in final circle, and she just opens a portal through the rock you're fucking standing behind.
And then she's behind you
And
with the
then
whole team.
either that
and
or
y'all
you
getting
just
shot in
or
your
everybody
ass.
can shoot you through that portal. You don't have cover, and that's the kind of stuff I think about, like weird stuff. But I don't know. It just remains to be seen. It depends on how good her Q ability is. Like her,
Yeah, because they haven't really showed her whole kit yet.
no,
Like they showed little from what I've seen, they showed only like her really like teleporting. Like they didn't really explain too much what was going on with her kit.
yeah.
I can't wait to see exactly what it is that she
All they
does.
said is that I think the walls have to be at least 20 meters thick, which means nothing to me. I'm not a ruler. I'm not a human ruler, so none of that stuff means anything to me until I see it with my own eyes. Like there's
Hmm.
certainly like you can put it on floors and ceilings and stuff. So I'm curious how that's gonna work. Because even imagine like just like that, right? Like you're playing once again final circle. There's a team on the roof
Hmm.
above you. You open a portal and one of their teammate falls in and you kill them. Like that kind of shit. Like that stuff. That's the kind of crazy shit.
Oh my god! Hey, let me tell you something right now.
Like imagine you're
You
on the
just
roof.
saying that just pissed me off.
That's the kind of stuff I think
Or
about.
the opposite, like if somebody holding in the building and y'all on top of the building, you just
Exactly.
make a hole and start throwing
And
grenades.
you start
in there.
throwing grenades in. They're just holding the second floor of the building, and yeah, like.
Also,
Now that I'm thinking
you
about it,
son of
she's
a
gonna be
bitch.
kind of busted. I don't know if I like that now. I don't think. I think I'm gonna take a break from next season. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, you got Gibraltar's bubble shield. Maybe that'll bring him back into play.
She'll
I don't know.
she'll just make a hole in it.
Oh my God, Jesus Lord!
Hopefully she can. I don't know, man. We'll see. It's a lot of stuff to kind of consider, but I'm excited for next season, and I think it starts next week. I think it starts on the 7th. I think next Tuesday.
People saying she's the product of Loba and what's her face.
Yeah,
making a love baby. Wait,
honestly,
what?
man, I wish we got more. I know we'll never get like a single player Apex game. I wish we did though, because they have like, if you guys ever watch like any of the cutscenes and stuff, like a lot of that stuff is really really cool, man. Like the background, because there's some sort of beef with her and Horizon, because Horizon like travels through time and Alter opens portals, and there's something going on with those two, just kind of how it was with
They would do
Loba
good with
and
having
Revenant.
a show.
Yeah, I think so.
And Loba's freaking love triangle.
Yeah.
I don't know. Loba be in there, boy.
Like,
She be in love every season.
The characters got such cool backstories and stuff, man. I would love to see more of that in the game itself. And I know they do kind of stuff here and there, but we'll see.
Hey, drop a show. Fallout 76. So Fallout 76 is doing numbers because they dropped that show.
Man, if you guys haven't watched Fallout,
hey,
please.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Fallout 76.
Fallout
no.
TV, yeah.
No, it's not for me. I went back and tried to play it and
Okay.
realized why. I went back and tried to play it and realized why I stopped playing it.
I watched a few people play it. I don't think I don't want to invest in it. I'll play Fallout 4. I did download
that
Fallout 4.
Gameplay, man, that gameplay dusty. I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't. It reminded me of all the reasons why I hated 76.
It's too colorful, right? Too much color in there.
No, it's too ashy, and it's too ashy, and I don't like the battles. I do not like how. Oh God, it's
a live service.
It ain't it for me.
It's a live service Fallout. I don't think people asked for that. So.
Oh yeah, when they was making it, everybody was booing that shit. Like people was like, "Bro, y'all just being greedy. Like nobody wants this. Y'all just want to monetize off this."
He did, speaking of, Todd Howard did an interview this past week, and they were talking about how they've realized that the demand for a new Fallout game is heightened with the TV show. So hopefully we'll get something sooner rather than later.
Your fans only been freaking asking for it since Fallout 76 came out.
They need to just
let
Obsidian make New Vegas too, man, so the world can be happy. We're not gonna get Fallout 5 until we're like 40 or mid 40s. After Elder Scrolls 6 comes out in 4 years, so it's just nobody. So just we'll see what happens.
Ash, and I want to see the upgrades that they did for 4. If they made it less ashy.
Oh yeah, there was like the 4K. I forgot all about that. Yeah, maybe we can talk about that next week.
I want to see how they upgrading Bethesda's graphics. Period. That's just an enigma in itself. Like I'm like, boy, if you could throw some lotion on them ashy ass graphics.
There was hold on, because we're running a little long here. This will be the last thing we talk about. Let's see. There was a game, Fallout 4 4K update bug. there was like some bug, like major game breaking bug with the next gen performance mode that they just dropped. I can't.
Yeah, they
remember
were
what it
just
was.
talking about it. Yep.
It was something bad too. Like it was like I couldn't remember
Oh no,
what it
you couldn't even
was.
start the game. Like it was messed up.
Oh,
This was like a week ago, I believe.
yeah, like right when it dropped. Yeah,
Oh,
and I know
Bethesda.
it broke all the mods, like the mods that the game has. Like you can't really play most of them
Yeah, I think
now.
it took everybody mods off. It was something crazy.
I can't remember. I'll
And
look
what
it up and we'll talk about it next week. I can't
the
remember.
thing is, when people be modding them games, because they'll add so many mods,
Yeah.
you kind of forget what you be adding. So
Yeah,
yeah.
you got to go back through that list and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's always been my problem with them though. That's always been my number one problem with Bethesda, man. I just feel like they just make games, throw them out, and be like, oh, well, the community will fix them.
We want you to
Yeah,
win, Bethesda. We want you to
we
win.
do, but you got to stop, man. You got to stop doing that. Take your time, man, because it's a
Please.
double-edged sword, man. Is you they fall into the trap of what all these consumers be grilling them for, like, oh, we need another game. Blah, blah, blah. No, people got to realize, got to start slowing down, man, with these companies, because y'all not gonna win. Like, y'all
Hopefully,
want them to speed up, and then when they drop half-ass games, everybody's mad. So it's like,
yeah, I think they're just gonna fade to black in a year or two after they get some of that Starfield stuff out and just focus on Elder Scrolls. That's what I'm hoping anyway. Because I do want to. I need to go back and finish Elder
yeah,
Scrolls 5. But
didn't Starfield just drop a big ass
yeah, there was like some
update?
feature updates they dropped, and then they're still planning that Shattered Space DLC, which we'll probably see at the Xbox Showcase next month. Hey man, if you like Starfield, cool. I'm not gonna say anything else because I'm gonna get called a hater, so I'm gonna leave it at that.
Hey, you can call me a hater. I'm disappointed. Move on. We're moving on.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
leave it at that,
disappointed.
man. But yeah, I think that's a good place to stop, man. We're kind of running a little long here. We can save the Nintendo stuff for next week. We got some Nintendo leaks to talk about that are actually pretty
Ooh.
cool and interesting. Some alleged Switch 2 leaks have made their way to a couple of sites, so we'll save that for next week for you guys, man. But
Oh, just bring it out already. Jesus Christ, man. Nintendo, what are you doing?
whatever they want, because they can just print money. They do whatever the fuck they want, man.
He gonna be walking across the screen with the damn thing in his hand, and he just gonna walk off,
Yeah,
and then the
he's
screen
gonna
gonna
show
fade
it,
into
and
black,
then it's gonna trend for
and
like a week.
it's gonna say coming. It ain't gonna even say coming soon.
Not even
Just
that
coming.
classic Nintendo, man. Oh my goodness. All right, man. Thank you guys for hanging out for episode 188, man. Good to be back. Like I said, if you guys missed us last week, man, we took the weekend off. You know, a good guy DC here had a amazing birthday last week, man. So if you guys haven't reached out to him, wished him a happy belated birthday, please do so, man. It's always nice to hear from the community.
Yeah. And that Cash App is TreyPay82.
Give him $1 at least, man. Give him something, guys. He appreciate it. I really don't have a lot, guys. I know I've been kind of MIA the last couple of weeks, month and a half. But you know, I've been doing some studying and some things because I'm trying to further my IT career. Because it's really what I really want to do with my life.
So root for him.
But I appreciate y'all. Yeah, I didn't just quit streaming or anything. That's why I only stream once a week now, because life has been very busy for the boy. But there are good things coming for me and my family, and that's what's important to me right now. And I appreciate y'all nonetheless. So I don't really have anything to plug here, man. But thank you guys for hanging out, man. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, follow my journey. It's Darius the Artist, where he is a 3. DC, take us home, baby.
And with that being said, hey guys, we're gonna move the party on over to Discord. So if you guys are missing the streams, come on over to the Discord. Let's chat about some video games over there.
Yes.
Some good old video games.
I'm still in Discord. Yes, I do hang out.
Yes, the Discord. I'm learning to keep my Discord up because I want to say thank you to Weenie for the birthday wishes that he dropped in Discord. That did not go. I just replied to that, but I saw it, brother. I saw it, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you, brother. But yeah, I'm going to get more focused on the Discord as well because I've been doing a little studying for some things myself. And since I'm sitting on the computer all day anyway, like if you have Discord right there, you could just see who's coming in and out. So come on over to Discord and join our family, man. Let's hold hands at the fireplace and sing Kumbaya.
Yes, please join the Super Weapon Media Discord, man. Link will be
That's
in
all
the
I have, I think.
description.
All right.
And thank you guys for hanging out. If you guys are in chat, hang around. We're gonna play some video games.
Ooh.
And we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace. Leaky tire.